Good morning. This is 8.5. I'm going to try it a little differently today. I'm going to try and do my video on this. I was told that the video using my dot cam isn't very nice, so I'm going to try this way. So let's hope it works well. We are going to be learning how to factor the polynomials with the coefficients, leading coefficients, other than 1. So the bell work, being able to factor this leading coefficient is 1 right here. So this is where factors of 36 that add up to 13. So factors of 36, we could do 12 times 3, but when we add those together, they do not get 13. 9 times 4, but they when multiplied they get 36, when added they get 13. So those are our 2. So it's going to be f plus 9 multiplied by f plus 4. 2 binomials. So that's what we did on 8.5. Today is 8.6. This is actually going to be the textbook, or the not box method. Sorry. It's this. Not the box method. We're going to be doing the table method and then grouping it together. So you're first going to want to find the factors of AC. So when we have in standard form ax squared, so a is just going to be our coefficient on our x squared, plus bx, so b again is just our coefficient on our x, and then plus or minus our c. So the c is going to be our constant, or our last term. So we're going to try and find factors of AC that add up to b. And we're going to write all the factors of negative 12, because 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. So here again we can do either negative 1 here times 12, or 1 times negative 12. Adding them up together gets us 11, or negative 11. 2 times negative 6 gets us negative 12, but added together gets us negative 4. And that is what we are looking for. So when we do that, we are going to break this up, and we're going to, what I call the grouping method. And we're going to group the certain things together. So 2, does that have something in common with the 4 or the 3? So we're breaking this term right here up to 2 different terms. And we want the one that has something in common, or a factor in common with to go with the, write it first. So I'm going to write it plus 2x, and then the minus 6x minus 3. So the reason I wrote the negative 6x here, grouping it kind of with the negative 3, is because they both have 3 as a factor in common. Now, once you get to this part, I've broken up my b term into these 2. Now I'm going to actually try and factor out something that just these 2 things have in common. And they both have a 2 and an x in common. So 2x, I can divide out of both of them. So 4x squared divided by 2x gets me 2x. Because remember, so I'm dividing it out. 4 divided by 2 is 2. X squared divided by x is just x. And then 2x divided by 2x is 1. So it's going to be 2x plus 1. Now I want to group these 2 together. Now this is not showing multiplication. I'm not doing these parentheses to show multiplication. I should actually not do that. I just want to group them together, because I took off the parentheses, because parentheses mean multiplication, and that's not what I'm doing. I'm not changing it to a multiplication problem. I can't do that. But I'm grouping these together, and I need to find a factor in them that's common. Well, the factor, I can factor out a negative 3. Can I factor out an x? No, because there's no x with the 3, or that constant. But I can factor out the negative 3. So negative 3 is factored out. What's left? 2x, and then plus 1. Now, if I look, I see that I have two things both multiplied by the 2x plus 1. And I'm going to use the reverse of the distributive property, and I'm going to change this now to 2x minus 3, taking this one here and this one here, and then it's all being multiplied by 2x plus 1. So 2x here goes here. So this 2x goes here. This negative 3 goes to the minus 3. Then this 2x plus 1 and this 2x plus 1 goes here. Okay? So this is going to be the box method, and this is going to be in a different video, so I'm going to skip past it. And, oopsie. Let me try and find your notes. Hold on. Alright, so I want to talk about the rules, that kind of what I just went through, but now this is, if you want to go back and kind of review steps. Sometimes it helps step by step. Where am I? Oh yeah, I wanted to show these. So the product table, if there's a common factor, you want to, in all the terms, you want to factor it out first. Then you're going to want to multiply your A and your C terms. You want to list all the factors of the AC term. You want to add the factors of AC until you find one that equals the B term. Okay, so it's pretty self-explanatory. But now you want to write the term, use factors of AC to write two middle terms, and then write C term. Okay, so write A term. A, not sorry, the A term. And then use the factors of AC to write two middle terms, and then you write the C term. Now you're going to factor out the common factor of the first two terms and the common factor of the second two terms, and then you're going to use that reverse of the distributive property to list final factor pair. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here for just a second. You can pause it to fill out your notes. And I think I was on this other one, sorry. Nope, that's the wrong one, sorry. So in your notes, I believe it is, nope, again, that's not the one either. Okay, so you have this one, but we're not going to do the box method. We are going to do it using the grouping method. I call it the grouping method or the table method. So factors of, start over. Okay, so AC. What is AC? Well, AC means A times C. So remember that. So 4 times 3 is 12. And then my B term that I want to sum or add up to is going to be 4. And actually, of course...
Good afternoon, everyone. May I please have the following students to the office for messages?
So I changed it to copy the one that's in your notes next. And that's not the one we just did, right? But, so AC is now negative 12, because 4 times a negative 3, and we're going to add up to 4. So factors of negative 12, 1 and 12, nope, no, doesn't work. Remember, they have to be, one has to be negative, right? Now, I'm not going to waste my time going through those because I know when added together they're not going to get me 4. So let's try 6 and 2. If I do 6 and 2, one of them has got to be negative. So if I put negative 6 and 2, right? And then when I add them together, does it get me negative 4? Yes. Okay, so these are my two numbers. Now I need to do my second step. So I need to write my A term. So I'm going to write 4x squared. I need to write then my B term, so I'm going to split this term up into two different terms using the negative 6 and the 2. Now I want to put in, so the 2 has something in common with the 4, and the 6 has something in common with the 3. So I'm going to write plus 2x first, minus 6x next, and then minus 3. So again, the 2 here has something in common with this term, the 4. So they have some factors in common. Okay, so I rewrote to use the factors right here of the AC to write two middle terms, and then you're going to write the C term. Then you're going to factor out the common factors of the first two terms. So 4x squared plus 2x has a 2 and an x in common, and I'm going to factor it out of just these two. Well, 2x is left plus 1, and this is the one I just did. Oh well, that's okay. Now you have the stuff. So. And then out of these two terms, you're going to group these two, and you can factor out a negative 3. So negative 3, you get 2x left. Divide this by negative 3, you get a plus 1. Now if you notice, these two right here should be the same. If they are not, this is not going to work. You have to have these two be the same. And then I can take these two and create the 2x minus 3 multiplied by the 2x plus 1. So that goes there. And these two terms, oh man, tried to change colors. These two terms come here. So now you have two binomials, and you just factored this trinomial into two binomials that we just factored it. So when I multiply these together, I can check and I should be able to get this answer. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to clear this. 2 minutes left. See how quick I can do this. The next one is a negative, but then it's plus plus. So again, negative 12 is my AC. Negative 4 times positive 3. These are in your notes. And so AC and B is 4 this time. So factors 1 and 12, no. 3 and 4. 3 times 4 added together is not going to give me 4. 6 and 2, when multiplied, one of them is going to be negative. So if I make the negative 2, this time it's going to be the negative 2 the 2 that's the negative. So I have 6 times negative 2 that will equal negative 12, but when added together will give me a positive 4. So I'm going to split these up again, putting the 2, grouping it with the 4x squared because it has something in common with the 4x squared, and then plus 6x plus 3. I'm going to pause it, finish it, and then I'll have the answer. I want you to see here, I took out a negative 2 here. So this is a negative 2x. I did that because if I didn't, my answer here would be negative 2x minus 1. Well, I wanted to make sure to take out the same thing. So these were the same. So I had to take out the negative 2x out of both of them. So this becomes a negative 2x plus 1. That's not correct. So I want to make sure to write the same thing. See, now I have messy. Oh, that was my problem in that first one. I forgot that I had this negative here. So negative 2x can be pulled out, and then I have the correct answer.